when I was working in the restaurants, that's what I was craving, that dynamic that you have with people. Like, you went out, you don't want a regular thing. You went out, let's especially in a country, because I'm from the Dominican Republic, in a country that usually we're isolated, we're usually away from family. Mm-hmm. So it's good to feel welcome in places. It's good to feel loved by people. You need that human contact.
You should make the tagline, "We treat you like family."
I love it.
You may get sued by Olive Garden, but
oh, that's their tagline?
We could figure that part out. We could figure that part out with some lawyers. Perla Bisono, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
We really appreciate your time. Yeah. Hi, Tara.
Hey.
How you doing?
What's up?
Hey, Tara.
It's been a minute. So today we just wanted to start with, you are a restaurateur. You recently opened a brand new restaurant.
Yes.
Give us the name of the restaurant, because I'm going to butcher the title.
It's Antojo Pura Vida.
That's what I would have said. Exactly.
It would sound just like
it. Would sound
Give it a try.
Distinctly. Okay, I will try. Antojo Pura Vida.
There you go.
He can't roll his R's.
No, I can't roll my R's, and I'm going to get cooked in the comments. So, all right. So let's say this: how long you've been open, and how did you come up with the concept?
Well, it's only 3 months. Yesterday made 3 months.
Okay,
mark.
Congrats.
Thank you. It's been awesome. And the concept, well, Pura Vida, it's a word from Costa Rica.
Okay.
It translates to pure life, which means nothing. But they actually say it a lot. It's you say hello, they answer with Pura Vida. How you doing? Pura Vida. Bye, see you later, Pura Vida. So it's like living in the present moment.
I like that.
So the name is Antojo, which means craves. So craving the good life.
Oh, okay.
So
Craving
it's like being present, being in the moment, being in the crave of the good life, essentially.
And what is so it's the flavors of Costa Rica or Latin America?
No, well, mainly Mexico.
Okay.
From Mexico City.
So give us your background a little bit. Like, how did you start? How did you become a restaurateur?
When I became independent from my house, I started working as a hostess in a Mexican restaurant. So I went to school for psychology. And in one of the book, I read, a good therapist is a good bartender. And I'm like, what? I'm going to nail it.
Everybody tells their problems to the bartender.
Exactly. So I'm like, I'm on it. I'm on the right path. This is going to be it. So I finished school. I was working on my career. And then I moved out of New York. So we discovered Texas. And I've always been very intrigued by Texas.
Okay.
And I mean, New York and Texas, they're very different.
Very different.
Here, I started working in a restaurant. In that restaurant, I met a friend that proposed that we open a business together. And I'm like, cool. I like it. It was a restaurant in front of Antojo Pura Vida. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. So I was there and I'm super excited. I'm like, it's going to happen. And I believe a lot in numerology. By the way, if I say a funny word that doesn't make sense, I'm so sorry. Let's just play along. Pretend like you...
I'm following along perfectly. You're doing well.
Like you know what I'm talking about.
I'm a big fan of numerology.
So let me ask you this.
Really?
So you were working at another Mexican restaurant.
Yes.
As hostess, manager?
I went from hostess to a manager.
Okay. So do you have a culinary background?
I don't. I actually, if I cook, water just boils.
Okay. So as the manager of the restaurant, one or two people came up to you as potential investors and they're like, we've got a great idea. We want to invest in a restaurant, want you to basically manage and own the restaurant.
Mm-hmm. I was super happy because of numerology. And this 24 is the 8th year. So I'm like, this is going to be my year. Like, this is the year that I become successful. And that was my mentality. Like, I truly believe it. And they came in one day and I already had the idea of opening that other restaurant with that other partner. So they came in and they're like, Perla, you're always happy, but today you're happier. What's going on? And I'm like, this is going to be my year. This is it. Like, I'm going to make it. I left New York, and I've always conducted my life in the belief that, first of all, I'm gonna make it in life somehow. I don't come from a rich family,
Okay.
and everything that you do, it's preparing you for a greater thing that is coming up, and you don't know about it yet.
Sure.
So I'm like, God, this is you. I trust you. He's like, well, why? He's very analytical. Why is this going to be your year? So I'm like, well, I'm working on this project. This is going to happen. It might happen. And I'm very excited about it. And they were like, well, if that doesn't work out, you have a backup.
Okay.
We are willing to invest with you.
Okay.
And I'm like, perfect. Thank you so much. But I'm like, he gave me the idea. I'm not going to go behind that other guy and betray him. So it's like, good, I like it. I feel the love, but I had to do this.
It's tricky now. Yeah. Right.
But the thing with that other partner never happened.
Okay.
So time passed by, few months went by, and we met again, and they touched the subject. And I'm like, well, it didn't happen. We can look into it. And that's how Antojo Pura Vida started.
I love it.
Let me ask you this. So going from a manager of a restaurant to now an owner of a restaurant, what are some of the challenges?
First of all, I don't think you're ever ready to step into a bigger role if you don't do it. That's why I believe a lot on the fake it until you make it. Fake it until you make it, because you're faking it, but you're building yourself up. And if you get to that point where it's how I was saying before, like you were first a hostess, then you move and take a stairs kind of thing. You're placed into a situation because something greater it's being built. So it's the responsibility, I think, that changes, because you have that energy of creating. Because the restaurant, you're dealing with people constantly, so you need to be creative. You need to be. It takes a lot of energy, because it doesn't matter what's happening. You need to still show up to make people cheerful, to share the people that you want to bring in.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of energy that goes into it. What makes it different? It's your responsibility now. So it's now you're responsible for it. So that is the biggest difference.
Just purely the difference in responsibilities.
Responsibility.
Because when you're a manager, it's not your restaurant. It's not your.
It didn't
you
work
don't own
out. Oh well.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's different when you're behind the box.
Yeah, it's not you. Now it's your bottom line and not
Now,
somebody else's
exactly.
bottom line.
And now it's like you're in front. Now it's all you, baby. If it works, good. If it doesn't.
And you guys took over an existing restaurant, right?
Yes.
And you basically gutted it and did all the redecoration and things like that.
Took a lot of paint.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give us a sense of like what that took to basically make essentially a brand new restaurant.
Because it looks like completely different. It's so gorgeous.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, I think it was and correct me by saying this world, fertile land. Because the story that I know of that place, it went from like she built it up. So she transformed it. She made it easy for us to build something. The patio, oh my God, it was a drive-through. And she converted that into this amazing place. So it's easier to build on it.
Yeah.
But it was very pink before. It was definitely very pink. So a lot of painting happened.
A lot of paint. Okay. I mean, anything, any huge structural things that you had to deal with? Or anything that came up that you were like, oh, we didn't think we were going to have to deal with this?
Well, definitely, because it was an old building. So that's when a lot of the budget went to.
Okay.
Well, it feels magical to me because I see what's behind it. But it was an old building. So a lot of things needed to happen from the inside that cost a lot of money that I never imagine in my life, honestly. It was just like banking and banking and banking with everybody that helped us build it.
Yeah.
So that was, we weren't expecting that. I don't think we were. But it needed to happen to keep it stable for a long period of time.
Okay.
Right.
And then what happened on the to make it beautiful, that was easy. We went to Mexico to get everything, the majority of things, and then inspiration from other places that I have worked in. And well, the three of us put a little touch on it.
Coming up with the creation of a food menu and a bar menu, like what was that like coming up with these two different menus?
Well, I think, especially when you have partners, everybody has an idea of what they want. But what we all agreed on was that we needed something that is different. Because if you want to get, I don't know, if you're craving one thing, you have so many options. But we wanted something that was different and to actually create an experience for our guests. So
Mhm.
that was the whole idea. So based on that line, it was easy to create something. For example, our kitchen, it's not Mex-Tex. It's more Mexican, especially from Mexico City.
Okay.
Our chef is from Mexico City. So and back in New York, the Mexican food, it's more Mexican City food. Then here it's more from like the border,
Yeah.
Okay.
like Chihuahua and all of those closer towns. But Antojo Pura Vida has more from Mexico City, like.
Okay. What about the cocktails? Because cocktails are amazing.
They're so good.
What were the concepts there?
Well, we wanted to make crafted cocktails, so we hire an expert on it to put that touch. I mean, it's the experience essentially that we want to let people experience a full. Like, I actually went out. I experienced different flavors that mix well with that other dish. It's that combination, that history that you tell throughout the night in a little moment.
Mhm.
That was like, that's the main focus. Like, it feels. It doesn't only. I didn't just went out. It feels like I did something different.
What I love about it is there's many restaurants in Midland, but like either the food's good or the cocktails are good. It's very rare that you get both at the same time, but you do at your restaurant. Like
Thank
the
you.
cocktails are fantastic, the food is amazing. Like it's just the whole package.
Oh, thank you so much.
So you're 3 months in.
Yes.
What's the response been so far from the public?
Well, people are loving it. Every time that I see, because I get an email, every time that I see Google review, is usually five stars, usually all the time.
Yeah.
Which and that also has to do. It's a complement of everything. It's the food, it's the drinks, but it's also, we want our people to feel the love. Like, you're
Mhm.
more than welcome here. Based on that and thinking about it to date, I think it started there when I was working in the restaurants. That's what I was craving, that dynamic that you have with people. Like, you went out, you don't want a regular thing. You went out, let's especially in a country, because I'm from the Dominican Republic, in a country that usually we're isolated, we're usually away from family.
Mhm.
So it's good to feel welcome in places. It's
Yeah.
good to feel loved by people. You need that
Mhm.
human contact.
You should make the tagline, "We treat you like family."
I love it.
You may get sued by Olive Garden, but
Oh, that's their
we could figure that part out. We could figure that part out with some lawyers. I love that you're all about the experience, right? And it's sort of the food and the cocktails that help that. So
And
tell
the
us more about the
atmosphere.
experience, because you have events there too, right?
Yes. So we monthly we have different events. We're coming up with cocktails for fall, which is the carajillos. you guys tried it last time you were there?
Refresh my memory.
The carajillos, it's that digestive drink. Oreo, I think so.
Oh yes,
Mazapan.
yes.
And
Oh,
then
yeah, yeah.
chocolate la abuelita. And now we're coming up with also a pumpkin spice carajillo.
Oh, you'll love that.
You had me at pumpkin spice. Okay, so what? Okay, so I'm interested in this part, right? So like, because I'm a marketer,
Okay.
right? So walk me through the concept of like you guys having to get the word out,
Uh-huh.
right? And constantly come up with new cocktails
Yeah.
or new events and stuff like that. So how do those ideas come about, and what's that process like?
Well, that's the creative side. For example, one of my biggest struggle has been becoming the businesswoman that I want to become. Because I mean, now you're in business. It's not only the beautiful side of it. Now it's learning. I come from a more of a wording than numbers background, like
Okay.
studying psychology. I try to avoid numbers at all costs. And if I could copy my friend to pass the math exam, that was the way to go. But
Same.
now, now it's you. I don't have another option.
Mhm.
So on that marketing side, I get to be creative, but I also have a lot of angels and a lot of people that help. So that's the creative part. So to me, that's the fun part. Uh, Creating that is depending on what's happening around and how we can play with it. For example, for September, it's a Mexican restaurant. So we had the chile en nogada dish, which is like super common in Mexico to have because it's the Mexican Independence Day.
Mm.
So we're all about it. So we had it for the whole month. It was beautiful. Our chef also does an amazing job on presentation and flavor. And then for this month, of course, I mean, how can you not play with pancakes and vampires? So on that side, it's easy. That's the fun part about it. That's like, oh, look at this, and you get to have that dynamic with your guests, which is like either you love it or you don't. But it gave us a chance to connect.
Mhm.
It gave us a chance to talk about the Mexican culture, to talk about Halloween. So that's the fun part. And on the marketing side, it's more on rather than being like, oh, here, con tu pura vida, because we have this. It's more on the side of like, this is who we are. Like it's more on telling our story, telling who we are, what we want, rather than just come.
What are the best strategies that you found so far to get new people into the restaurant?
Well, right now it's been on social media.
Okay.
But I have this little angel that I'm hoping to work with in this upcoming month. Uh, he does marketing, and he has like this brain to do marketing that it's just like it's amazing. It's not the traditional marketing on like let me post something
Sure.
to make you come. He goes based on like this is the story, like let's do this, and how you integrate yourself with the community,
Mhm.
with like how we actually do rather than just announce.
Mhm.
Right.
So it's more based on that.
Restaurants is a very saturated industry, right? And there's a lot of restaurants.
Yes.
Right. So I think it's this aspect of like, how do you diversify, or how do you make yourself, unique,
Yeah.
and make yourself a different choice to all the other
Totally.
options out there. So that's what I'm always curious. Anytime we talk to restaurant owners, I'm always like, how are you different? Right. And how are you telling people that you're different versus just assuming that everybody just
Knows.
assumes that, right?
Of
Like,
course.
for someone out there who's they want to own a restaurant, right? What advice can you give them?
Well, first of all, what is it that you want to give? Because it's at the end of the day, it's all about serving. So whatever skill that you have, whatever bless that it's within you, it's how can you serve that. That's essentially your mentality, and it should be your mentality on anything, not only on restaurant. So what is it that you want to give to people? One, and then also neighborhood. invest in a neighborhood
Mm.
that you want to invest in. Invest in a neighborhood that you're like, I like this. This is where we're going. I don't know. It could be a place that you pass by and it's near a park. So you can relate yourself with that park and make that whole area something where people are not paying attention to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's being creative within that neighborhood. And it creates a bigger purpose. So it feels different.
Okay.
When you do it, it's different than just doing because. Doing because you want profit.
Right.
It's more associated with a whole thing. And I think that's the same psychology that Starbucks uses. Because I
Mhm.
mean, wherever you see a Starbucks, it's a neighborhood that might cost a little more.
Yeah.
What keeps you up at night? Again, I'm looking at it from the perspective of the people out there who see your video, right? They
Mhm.
see this episode of the podcast and they're like, I want to be successful like Perla. But what keeps you up at night that you're constantly trying to figure out how to get better at this?
Ryan, I don't think I'm able to sleep
You don't sleep.
either.
Okay. All right, that's fair. You sound like an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I will say it essentially is connecting the whole dream of all the creative side that goes along and plays along with building a project, connecting that into reality, connecting that into that it makes sense, connecting that to, well, I need to be profit to make this happen. So how am I going to be profit to make it
Mhm.
happen? How am I going? It's a constant fight to become better as something that you're in on experience with. So it's you constantly are building yourself, especially when you don't come from like knowing these things, when your family hasn't owned businesses.
Right.
So you need to learn how to do it. You need to, your mentality needs to switch. It's a whole creation.
Mhm.
Your all thoughts and mentality, it's a whole switch. So that transformation keeps me up, and constantly knowing how I can do better for my team,
Hmm.
because it's a huge responsibility. And now it's not only me. If I walk and fall, it's okay. It's me. I can go back up. But now it's the responsibility of people actually believing in your dream, working harder for you, and wanting to see you succeed. Wow, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
That's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, you're responsible for people's livelihoods at this point, right?
Totally.
And yeah. So you want to be cognizant of that. You want to be considerate
Oh yeah.
of the fact that they're relying on you to build this concept.
And not only that, but actually buying my dreams. Like, we were working in the same restaurant. Like, why would you follow me? So that it's a lot. It's something that I'm significantly very grateful for. But it's a lot of responsibility also. It's you bought that I'm dreaming of this and I'm betting for this, and you're also gonna follow me, like that. That's special.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question that's sort of specific to Midland, Texas, that I've heard from people who are much smarter than me, that it's hard to find help and it's hard to retain people. Do you find that, have you found in the 3 months that it's been hard to recruit people to come work for the restaurant and keep them?
Not at all.
Oh, okay.
Not at all. Even my partners, like, it was immediate. Starting there, it was, and I even asked them sometimes, like, it's so easy to get money here. It's so easy. Like, how? And when I first started, when we first opened, I hired like 25 waitresses, and I'm like, this is okay, because they're gonna be filtered out.
Mhm.
And at some point, they're the ones that are going to want to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like 2 months into the businesses, nobody wanted to leave, and I'm like, how did I make a decision now? Because I need to make a schedule that it's fair
Right.
to the people that want to be here.
Right.
But having so many people, how am I going to divide this so that everybody's happy, so that everybody's making their money instead of just giving 2 days per person?
Yeah.
So it hasn't been hard at all. And I consider that in our team, we have so many people that are fantastic. Like they have all this quality that just add to the restaurant. And it has been a project that has taken that. It's not only me, but also my team that adds to it, makes it bigger.
Yeah.
What's more important,
Okay.
the quality of the food or the quality of the customer service?
If you don't like your food, but you have a good person that walks you through it, it was worth it. You walk away and you're like, okay, I'm not full. Or maybe I am, because customer service was so good that I ended up eating something else or something happened. But if you like your food, but the service was terrible, it's the whole experience again that it's damaged.
I agree.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You can cook at home, but you cannot have an experience at home. It's so easy to cook at home. It's so easy to order takeout. But the experience itself, that's what after a long day at work, after all these things that you're going through, that warmth of humanity, that's what's worth it. That's why you work 10 hours and you went for a beer, because you
Yeah.
have somebody to talk to.
Your
Somebody,
therapist.
exactly.
Your therapist. So yeah, I brought it back. Okay, so I know you're 3 months in, but I can sense you've got big plans, you've got big dreams. So what are you?
Yes.
What's the vision of the restaurant? Where are you thinking to, like even a year from now, 2 years from now?
Well, we don't want Midland to get tired of us, nor we want ourselves to be bored with ourselves.
Hmm.
So there's always, we plan ahead, a month ahead at least, on what's happening the next month. So we have a beautiful patio that we can play it around with. We have a second floor that is our VIP that we can play around with. And we have a beautiful staircase,
Mm-hmm.
which has these beautiful horses. So we want to keep it entertaining all the time. There's something new. I love to travel, so I'm hoping to go away and come back with a new idea, with a new something that keeps people, I don't know,
Like
I'll say
intrigued.
intrigue,
Yeah.
grounded, like,
Mm-hmm.
well, I don't know, something Chinese year. Let's
Okay.
do something related to that. Who celebrates that? Nobody, but let's do it.
Yeah.
It keeps a dynamic, and I love that. So that is one, to do more things like that, where it keeps a not a I'm talking alone, but more if, hey, community, this
Yeah.
is happening. And also to keep the community involved. Like, I'm really, really, really hoping to make Antojo Pura Vida a place where the whole community can be like, the whole Midland can be like, oh, let's celebrate this there.
Mhm.
Let's just go there for this. Relevant to the people.
Yeah. Since the holidays are coming up, are you guys open for like corporate parties, company Christmas
Yes.
parties, Thanksgiving, whatever?
Yes. Oh
Nice.
yes. Oh yes. 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 We can't wait for the posadas.
Yeah.
There's actually so many people that have already made the reservation for their company's party.
Nice.
Oh my God, those are my favorite, because that's another dynamic, because
Yeah.
you see the whole co-workers, and it's in a different scenario,
Yeah.
and I love to play with that. That is one of my favorite.
Nice. Good.
Can't wait for that. And can't wait to decorate for Christmas.
Yes.
Right now we have it as Date of the Death,
Oh, I love it.
Oh, perfect.
which is more like Coco
Yeah. All the like sugar skulls.
presentation. Yeah. But I can't wait for Grinch moment.
For the people out there who haven't been to the restaurant yet, it's their first time. What do you recommend? Like, what's the full experience for them?
Food-wise, I love sopa de tingas, which is I'm not gonna describe it. I want people to experience it themselves. Sopas de tinga, it's my favorite. I can eat sopas de tinga every day, all day. And the brunch also. I'm a very brunch girly. But whole experience
Yes.
will end with a carajillo. A carajillo, it's a Mexican digestive drink. It has coffee, it has liquor 43, which is a Mexican. And we have 3 flavors for the season 4, which is the pumpkin spice. So a carajillo will end with that. We have tableside guacamole to start the experience. And then to end it with a carajillo tableside made as well.
I
Wow.
like that.
Okay. I love it. If you haven't been, you need to try it.
It's fantastic.
The food is amazing. The cocktails are amazing. We haven't been there for salsa dancing or anything yet. I'm still nervous, but
Oh, yes.
we'll make it there at some
Please.
point. If you need some VIPs, I guess we can make it out there.
Please.
But again, Perla, thank you so much again for coming in today. Say the name of the restaurant so I don't butcher it again.
Antojo Pura Vida.
Boom. Where's it at in Midland?
It's 1008 South Big Spring Street, Midland, Texas.
Website, social media.
AntojoPuraVida.com.
Perfect.
Antojo Pura Vida on Instagram and Facebook. And we're open every day but Monday.
Excellent. Thanks again.
Thank you for having me.
Let's go eat.
Let's do it.
All right. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.